Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be showing how I'll be stitching the blouse for the Bharatnatyam dress. So this was the previous blouse cutting I did when I stitched the other dress. I followed a video. I will share the video link in my description box. So please follow that. It's hard to explain how I did this, but this was the front part of it. And my measurements did not change, so I cross-checked with those, and then I created this one following their video again. This was the back measurements. So the front is kind of little bit different from back, and this is the princess cut blouse, and there was little half-inch extra margins in the front, and this is the blouse I cut. This is the back part. So basically this is the half of it, and you fold it on this side. This side was the fold and this side was the open part. So you fold it on this side and follow the measurements they say and then cut it. I made this template so that it's easy for me for next time if this blouse becomes success. So this is the lining cloth I'm using, and I based on my waist measurements and the neck depth and the shoulder measurements and all that, I did this. And this is the armhole side and this is the front side. So this is the back part, and then using these templates I made, these were together similar to the back, but then in the front it is little different for princess cut, so they cut this part off. So I'm going to cut two pieces of cloth and show you after. I have double folded the cloth because we need two pieces, and this is still the lining cloth, and then I put these two, the front cuts I had, and marked around them and did an extra half-inch margin markings around them, and I will cut on these extra margins. So these are the two pieces of cloth I cut. So I needed to keep extra margin only on these two sides, only on the inner sides, not on the outer sides. So I took off those extra margins. I cut them off. So now I'm doing the hand lining cut. So this I followed the instructions from the video I was watching. So this was the length. I needed only 6 inches of my hand length. Took an extra inch here. It's the 7 inches here. It's double folded, so I have like 4 here because two sides I need to get, two hands. And then I took my length of arm around and then armhole around. So based on those measurements I marked here and here, and then joined this to here. It's approximately 3 inches, and join these two. I think you should follow the video to get a better idea. And then I'm going to cut all this. So this is the sleeve cutting. So basically the length I wanted was 6 inches, so I took a 1 inch extra, that is 7 inches. So this end is folded, this end is free, and I have two cloths folded. And now then I wanted my arm around, that is 11 inches, so half of that will be 5.5. I took it mark here, and approximately 3 or 4 inches above you put another mark. And then from here, there is this arm hole around, that is in the axillary area. So if you measure that, half of that will be here, 15. So half of that is 7.5 here. And then on the top approximately 2-3 inches you do a marking and then join these two like a curve like this, and then connect these two, take some extra margin and connect, and then cut like this. Hopefully I did it correctly. We will know after I stitch. So these are all the pieces I cut. So on my blouse piece, which I separated from the sari, I cut the sleeve part and kept it aside, and the remaining part I folded the blouse, this is half, folded it into half, and then put all these pieces on them and mark them, and then I'm going to cut them. And most of it is just stitching these pieces together with the lining and the blouse piece. So I have separated all these pieces and put them together, and I will stitch them all together, and it will look something like this after it's done. So these have to go together, these two have to go together, this will be the central part, and this is the back portion. I'll have to cut the neck here. This is the back portion. I'll just cut the neck area here, and then it'll be good to stitch. So this back portion, which I had cut based on the lining cloth, I took off the lining cloth and just folded this into half like this, and then took, my shoulder length was 3.5, so I took 4.5 because half inch for the stitching, and then put a mark here, and then whatever neck depth you want in the back, I took around 9.5 inches and put a mark here, and then join those two and make a curve here and cut. If that's the shape you want. If you want a different shape, then you should make the shape there. But I will cut this and put this to the lining cloth and stitch. So I stitched this back piece to the lining cloth throughout and cut off the excess regular cloth. I followed whatever I cut for the lining cloth, and then I'm putting these two together. It's hard to shoot with a single hand and show, don't have the setup. And then turn it like this and cut it here. I'm just following whatever the video says. Cut it here. This was just a small nick here, so that I will know that I need to put a pleat here. I made a mark at the neck area. I measured 4 inches and then put a mark here. Did the same on this side too, and then I'll stitch it. So I folded a small area here from the inside on the side of the lining, and then did a cross stitch, a small stitch close by here and little far away here, and did double stitch, like did from up to down and then down to up. Did the same on the other side too. So it looks like this. When you see on the right side, it looks like this. I think this is to just to, if you have to adjust the size, this will help. I took a piece of cloth like this, made sure this surface is smooth, and put it on the outer side, the smooth side like this one like this, and then stitched it, and this area folded a little bit, folded a little bit and stitched. Now I will turn like this and stitch it again. So I stitched this part inside and created the lining to have this neat look. So I have stitched all these pieces with the lining cloth, all the 4 pieces, and cut off the excess cloth, anything I had. And now, and before when we do that, we have to be sure, making sure that we are doing in the right way. Like we should have both the sides arranged like this, and make sure you don't end up with 2 same sides. You should have this part of this side and then this part which goes here, the same way this one and this one. I hope I'm clear. And now after attaching them, I will be joining this. Now I'll be joining these 2 parts together. So I put the rough end on this side, smooth end on that side, and I will be stitching it like this. once I come here, I'll have to twist it like this and continue the stitch until we come here. So I stitched both sides like this, the two things attached, and made sure I put at least 2 or 3 stitches so that this is, you know, very much in place and not coming out. I have attached this small piece in the corner so that in order to make the rough edge smooth, as I did for the back side, I did the same for the front side on both sides. I have taken about 4 inches of cloth and little longer than this much. This is for the hooks and kajas. So I will be folding this like this to make it 2 inches wide, and then I'll stitch it to the blouse. So I took the cloth and folded it and put it behind this blouse piece, and I'll make a straight stitch on it. The blouse is on the front, on the right side, and I put it below. I created these things at the ends like this on both sides, made it smoother and cleaner, and then joined these two inside like this, these two ends, and then we'll now work on the sleeves. I've attached the sleeves together and cut off the excess. Made sure this end is nice and smooth. Otherwise you have to do a piping on it, but mine had the border, so I'm good. And now I will attach this to the blouse. I will attach it to the end where the sleeve goes. So now I joined the sleeve to this. The small tip I used is I started from here rather than from one end. Started from here and finished one side and then finished the other side and did a second stitch so that it stays better, tighter. Did the same on the other side. In this step I have to join the two things together. So for that I need to re-measure my blouse, making sure it's according to my measurements. So based on the arm around, I took this around 6 inches, and based on armhole around, I took this around 8 inches and continued this down, making sure the waist size is almost same. My waist was 30, so approximately took like 8 inches. I'm going to wear this and see, and if it is loose I'll put another stitch here. I'll just do a single layer and then check it, and then if it is right then I will make more stitches to make it stronger. If not, I will put another inner stitch to make it tighter. These two ends did not come out equally, but that's okay. So this is what it looks like after I did that. So it is now looking like a blouse, and I will wear it and see if this fits me. And I need to finish off the necks, front and back, and do hooks and kajas, and also tighten these stitches and put extra stitches as needed. So I finished doing the piping here, and I wore and saw, and it was a little loose for me, so I had to tighten it half inch on both sides. And also the shoulder was dropping, so did a little bit of tightening here, more on this side and then like this on the top. That seemed to have fixed it, and I will put even the dories on the back. Did the piping here. That looks good so far, I think, on both front and back piping, like a continuous, just as I did for here. I did this whole area, and I need to do the hooks and threads and then do the dory and check on it, and if everything looks good it will be done. And then I'll do some double stitching here, and that's it. So this is the final look of the blouse. I wore and check it fits me. I will have to adjust the size in the below, that's okay, using some pins. And I did this dory also. It is not as perfect as the tailor's, but it works for me. That's all I have in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Oh, I forgot, I also did these hooks and threads. Yeah, that's all I have. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. Thank you for watching. Happy stitching. Bye.